Inside Story. I'm Kate from Jeeni, and today we're going to the opera. I'm joined by Heday Inoue, star of the brand new modern opera of New York's Spring Street. Hi Heday, how are you?
Good. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank
How
you.
are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for being here. So you're the bass baritone in Spring Street, composed by a great friend and supporter of Jeeni, Pete Wire. So how did you get involved with Pete, and how did he describe the project to you?
So Pete and I, our story goes back to a couple of years ago. He composed another opera called Gasho. That's how we met first time. I think I got the part of the role of the Gasho through American Opera Project, which Matt and Myla, who are both of them are involved in this project as well. So we went upstate New York together, and I showed up a couple of days later because of my previous job. Then I met Pete, and we really get really connected through Gasho. And he actually came to where I used to live in Portland, Maine, to discuss and record another piece together. Of course, then COVID hit, and we were chatting through emails. But he was one day he approached me. So he did, what's your vocal range? And I told him, well, this is technically my range. If I can make noise, and like I told him my whole range of my voice. Then he was actually, I know my good friend Yukon and Steve passed away a year ago, and I would love to compose some. I'm thinking to compose some music. You as the voice. So he literally contacted me out, not out of blue, but like he was. I think it was before he started composing Spring Street, and he contacted me, and basically he wrote this music with knowing my vocal range. So it's basically he composed based on my voice.
Yeah. So he with you in mind, sort of thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
it's really cool.
And Spring Street is set in Manhattan, and you've got a very personal connection to the area which it's set. So how did Heday, originally from Japan, become Heday living in New York City?
Yes, so back then I used to, before I was, before I started singing, I was involved in business. So I did international business like AI, like IT business in New York City. So that was the first time I was in New York City. Then I moved to Pennsylvania for a while to work in New Jersey for my sales job. And I started interested in singing. So I commuted from Pennsylvania to New York City like once or twice a week for my voice lesson. That was back 2013 or 2014. And I decided to pursue music career over my business career. So I started living in New York City to go to my school. And that's how I started living in New York City. And I just loved the power and the passion and opportunities in New York City. So I stayed in New York City for quite a long time afterwards.
And I read that you never really wanted to become an opera singer. So is that true?
Yes, that is absolutely true. And I avoided to be a singer for a long time. Because both my parents are opera singers in Japan.
I see.
Yes, and my parents, both parents, like so four of them are somehow involved in music. Like some of them composers, conductors, or music therapists, or something like that. So I was a third generation of musical house, and I just didn't want to follow that. So I did like martial arts did more business and graduated law school, and so I did music.
And so Spring Street is having its world premiere on Jeeni in a couple of months, but because of COVID, it'll actually be live streamed. So have you ever actually like met any of the other performers face to face, or has everything been done online?
Mostly everything is online, except for American Opera Project. So they were shooting me in person, of course, in New York City, Spring Street. Who I met was Yuko, who is librettist, who wrote that poet, the wife of Steve. And also I met Joy, who is a soprano. And that's it. I think those are the only people I met.
And so your performance in Spring Street is going to be streamed all over the world, and actually to a far bigger audience than could ever fit in an opera house. So how do you feel about that?
That is a really cool part of involved in an online project, to be honest. I think there is a beauty of the hearing or singing in live. However, this technology development is allowing us to have more exposure for the rest of the world. And as long as they have internet, then they can see or hear this music. So I think that's amazing. And I'm really, really happy to be a part of it.
And we're really excited to see it. And so as well as this, you've also appeared in a Marvel superhero production on Netflix. You have a degree in law, as you've mentioned, and I also know that you're a martial arts expert. So you're obviously a man of many talents, but is there another skill or another talent that you'd wish you could master?
That's a good question. I'm in the middle of, this is still hobby level, but I'm very, very interested in mental health and neuroscience and brain chemistry. So I have been learning about by myself, like reading the college books of neuroscience or something like that. So I think that's what I want to do next. Besides opera singing, is more focusing into like neuroscience and how our brain works, or how our emotions or behavior or thoughts works, and that's the next skill set I want to gain.
As a bass baritone, you're famous for having an incredible vocal range, from the very deep notes and way up high. And as you mentioned, that was why Pete kind of got you involved in the project. So did you use all of your range in Spring Street?
Yes, there's a piece, Acid Trip. I use the whole range of my voice. There are some studio magic right there, that's for sure. But it was really challenging in that way. But at the same time, it was really interesting for me to sing like my full range, including my falsetto, that I never ever do in operatic world.
Yeah.
So it almost these pieces helped me to discover what I can do, and the range of my voice more than I thought I could do. So it was really amazing experience to me.
Well, we can't wait to see/hear it. So thank you so much for your time today, Heday. And as I mentioned, Spring Street will be getting its premiere on Jeeni in a couple of months, and we can't wait to see it. So thank you. It was lovely to chat with you today.